Hello, my name is Sig Sigulinski, and I have personally lost 96 pounds. Last week, we discussed a fun one of all the strange side effects when you lose the weight. Everything from getting cold to dropping a ring size, even losing a shoe size, which didn't happen to me, but there are some strange ones out there. This week, we're going to discuss more of a serious note, and it's on body dysmorphia. This topic cannot be covered enough. It's actually part of the reason that I'm shirtless this time around. I'm not trying to show off my tattoos. I'm not trying to show off my progress. This is going to go along with this particular topic, and we will get to it in a minute. Very first and foremost, if you know for a fact that you have body dysmorphia, like you know for a fact that you have a form of body dysmorphia, you're not alone. Everyone suffers through it. Either you're really big and you want to get small, or you're really small and you want to get big. The problem comes when you don't know what to do and you take it to the extreme and go on these starvation diets for getting big and for going from big to small. You end up getting on these starvation diets and you think it's the only way that's going to work. And there's actually been reports of people dying because they just didn't want to eat. I mean, you're talking some people end up becoming anorexic because of it. And I'll tell you right now, not eating food is the worst decision you can make, because your food is your energy. Your food is going to keep you running. Everyone has to have food. But for some reason, some people get in their head that if I end up eating this banana, if I eat this peanut butter sandwich, if I end up eating this slice of pizza, it's going to go straight to insert body part, hips, ass, whatever. And they just have it stuck in their head that they're going to get fat because they're hungry. Honestly, I wish this was not the case. Now, you can blame whatever you want to blame when it comes down to it, because God knows that there's plenty of influences out there that are fucking up your mind. I mean, everything from, you got on the men's side of things, you got professional athletes and professional bodybuilders that have been doing it their entire life, and that's the role models that so many men especially have no choice but to look up to. And like, it's, for some reason, so many people believe that that's the standard, like, ideal perfect body that somebody's looking for and all that. And if it's the perfect body that one person's looking for, then everybody must be looking for it, right? No. I'll tell you right now, from personal experience, that's not the case. Not the case. Your body is going to do what your body's going to do. Whether you want to stay how you are, or if you want to get big because you're too skinny, or you want to get skinny because you're too big, your body's going to do what your body's going to do. I'm telling you right now that if you're going on a weight loss journey, or if you're going on a weight gain journey, and you're hoping for like bulging muscles, pecs, maybe an 8-pack abs, and that's your ideal of perfect, you might achieve it. You might. Like, there's no guarantee. Because, like, me, yeah, you know what? I had the idea inside my head that, like, the healthiest I was ever going to be, again, was 220 pounds. And I dropped down to 164. So yeah, that was my weight loss and some. But I didn't know that my body could do that till I challenged it. You can do the same. Say you're at a healthy weight of like 200, but you want to drop down to that 180. There might be a chance that 185 is healthy for you. There might be a chance that 140 is healthy for you. Everyone's body is different. So make that as a point number one. Another point to bring up is the abs. Saying that you want to get into bodybuilding because you want abs is, I use the terminology from my world of being a musician, and I've been playing for 17 years. But to get into bodybuilding because you want 8-pack abs is like inside the music world, you're going into the music world to make money. If that's your idea of what's going to happen, you need to get the fuck out now, because you're just going to be disappointed if that does not happen. When it comes to abs, everyone's different. Every single person is different. You want proof of this? I can point you to a movie right now that shows you definitive proof that every single person is built different. The Baywatch movie. Yeah, the one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it, and that kid from High School Musical. His name escapes me right now. In that movie alone, you will see the perfect body guy, you know, the well-built, all that, has the 8-pack abs. Zac Efron. You look at Zac Efron and how he's built, and like he did a whole training regimen just for that movie. Look at his abs. Notice how they're not symmetrical, like they're off from each other. He is ripped as all fucking get out. Honestly, those abs look like you could punch him and break your fucking hand. He is ripped as all fucking get out, but they're not symmetrical. And then you look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Technically, he doesn't have abs. And whether that's from his wrestling injury or genetics is also a possibility in there. I don't know. I'm not him. I have no personal affiliation with him. I don't know. But technically, The Rock doesn't have abs. Here's a question. Would you still pick a fight with him? Absolutely fucking not. But he doesn't have abs. Those are three different types of men inside that one movie. That should show you that everyone is built different. And the same goes for women too. You look inside that movie, there's some women in there, they have the flat stomach. Some of them have abs. Some of them actually look better with a little more on their frame. So when it comes to body dysmorphia, realize the first thing: what's healthy for you may not be healthy for someone else. And what's healthy for someone else may be starvation for you. So please take that into consideration when it comes down to it. So one of the last topics that we talked about during the weird side effects was loose skin and the stretch marks. I'm going to pop up a couple pictures of my stretch marks because I can't really get them inside this lighting. I'm going to show you guys my loose skin. And don't worry, I'm not starting an OnlyFans page or trying to get into male stripping with this. So don't flag me because I end up like you might see a little bit below my waistline. I promise I'm not taking anything off. But guys, this is loose skin. See? Lots of loose skin. I have loose skin. I mean, this happens, okay? Loose skin. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Don't let this discourage you. All those pictures are of my stretch marks. And I'm pretty sure that I put it in at the last video, like at the very end. view your stretch marks and your loose skin as basically battle scars. I mean, fuck. I got a scar on this hand. I got 2 on my fucking head. I have scars all over me. Stretch marks are just extra. All it means is something tried to kill me and I proved I was stronger. And that's all it should mean to you too. Something tried to kill you and you proved you were stronger. Now, the hardest thing that anyone has to get inside their mind, which is part of the reason that I'm going to basically promote something that I'm part of, is everyone feels like they're alone. Especially when it comes to like just making the decision to do the weight loss journey. You feel lost, you feel alone, because you might be going on your weight loss journey, you might talk a friend into it, might talk a family member into it, then life happens and you got the choice of you stop with them or you stop before them and you want to get back, but like I said, life happens kind of shit. You're not alone. You are not alone. One thing that, again, I can praise my wife day after day for just being a part of my life, but whenever I had joined up with my gym, I had no idea what the fuck to do. She suggested that I get with a support group because like I was coming home, I was feeling frustrated, I wasn't making any progress. She didn't know what to tell me. She didn't know what to tell me. I was learning everything as I was going just because I was watching it on YouTube. But at the same time, like, you can have the knowledge and still not know what to do with it or even know that you're doing it right. This is where she ended up coming up with the idea that I should try to look for a support group. So support groups, I found a couple support groups on Facebook. I decided to join them, see how it was going to play out, kind of. Because I basically was expecting nothing, really. I was expecting like a whole bunch of just pictures of like, oh yeah, look at these. If you end up eating right, if you exercise right, you can achieve this too. Contact me for a coaching plan. I'll charge you this much per hour, blah, 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 blah. Surprisingly enough, I think I joined about like 5 or 6 different ones. And one of the ones I joined, shout out, Dad Bod Transformation. It's a Facebook support group. That one support group has been more helpful to me than any of the other support groups I found. Like, all the other support groups I found were just essentially like I was talking about. Like, you had people on there that were talking about how good they did in the gym and all that kind of stuff. And you didn't really have help. You just had a whole bunch of mixed reviews of like, you know what, you should try this because I tried this and it worked for me. And everything is unique to an individual. But Dad Bod Transformation, almost everybody on there is on the same page. And we're talking like Dad Bod Transformation, it's a worldwide Facebook group. And if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have been able to get in contact with the man that is now my personal trainer. And I will do a whole video on personal trainer later on. The main point is when it comes to body dysmorphia, everyone says karma is a bitch. Karma is just doing her fucking job. Body dysmorphia is a fucking bitch. And this statement's probably going to be controversial. But in all honest reality, everyone has body dysmorphia. So you are not alone. I had body dysmorphia in the beginning. because every day I would look in the mirror and I would see that my face was getting rounder. I saw that my stomach was not only hanging over my jeans, but it was clearly getting larger. My clothes were fitting way too tight, and I was already in big sizes to begin with. I mean, size 40 waist and 40 waist jeans were skin tight on me. I had body dysmorphia then. And you can say that, yeah, it attributed to me like going on the weight loss journey and all that. Technically, I still kind of have body dysmorphia now, which you guys saw. You guys have seen me shirtless now. And you're probably thinking like, okay, why do you got body dysmorphia? Like you're on your way to like a perfect body kind of thing, right? You might be thinking that. You might be thinking the polar opposite. I don't know. I don't fucking care. But to me, I see it more on this line because, yeah, you know what's thinking like I have body dysmorphia, but now I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm looking at it like this. I've taken the first steps and lost the weight. And now I'm taking steps to building the muscle up. And yeah, you know what? It's a long ass fucking process. But honestly, I wouldn't change it for anything. Even if it's a small step forward, it's still a step forward. So I will end it with this. This video may be helpful, may not be. You might have some more questions. Please feel free to ask. Reach out to me. Join a support group like Dad Bod Transformation or any other group where you feel comfortable. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Body dysmorphia is a bitch. And sometimes you need a cheerleader in your corner telling you you can do this. And if you join Dad Bod Transformation, trust me, I'll be one of the cheerleaders for you. You can do this. If your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to gain weight, if your goal is to get your diet in point where you're not starving, but at the same time you're not overeating and worrying about gaining fat, even if you just need someone to talk to, reach out, please. Last thing we need is more stories of someone who went to the extreme, because God knows that there's more than enough stories, especially in bodybuilding competitions, where people went to the extreme and either dieted down so hard that their body could no longer take it and they died because they weren't eating, or inside bodybuilding competition, like it could be a mixture of like they weren't eating, they were pushing themselves too hard, and they end up the day that they got prepped for show day, like their body just decided. There's horror stories of bodybuilders dying during competition day. You do not need to push yourself to that extreme. You're beautiful the way you are. You're going to be beautiful the way you're going to push yourself forward and become a better you tomorrow. I hope some point of this video helps. If nothing else, I hope that you can find a support group that's helpful for you. And I hope that someone out there can be your cheerleader. Till then, pay it forward.